What is up guys, I'm Shivam Pandey and you're watching TheTechpreneurs. Welcome to another video of my platformer devlog series. So if you are new here, I'm creating a platformer in which you control a handsome, fit and orange pig running and jumping, avoiding the obstacles to his way to the next level. As simple as that. So I told you that I am going to create 20 levels in the game, but I've increased the amount to one more and we are creating 21 levels in the game. Woohoo! So as this is my very first experience in creating a platformer game and altogether creating a leveled game, so this is the maximum number of levels that I can come up with. But after I release the first version of the game to the Play Store, I'll try to add more levels and some more mechanism into the game, but for now it is just a simple run and jump platformer in which you have 21 levels and you have a pig to control and you have to avoid the red obstacles and you have to reach the final destination. I'm really excited to show you all the things that I have done in the game, and almost the development is in the verge of ending. That means in just next or next to next week I'm going to publish this game on the Play Store. So let's take you to all the things that I've done. I'll start by showing you the main menu of the game. Although I haven't yet decided or finalized the title of the game, but I think Try Again is a good name for a hardcore platformer. By the way, if you have any suggestions regarding the name or you have any great idea other than Try Again, then please mention it down in the comment section. Also, it is necessary for YouTube algorithm. So anyways, the main menu is quite minimalist and simple, not much animations, just introducing you to the basic aesthetics of the game and also showing the main player that you would be controlling in the game. The main menu has 4 buttons, one to share, one to play and 2 other buttons for settings and the credit section. One cool thing about the main menu is the swapping effects of the camera. I have 3 different panels for my main menu. The first one is the main panel, the second one is the settings panel and the third one is the credits panel. So each time you transition from one panel to another, there would be a cool camera swapping transition that looks something like this. It looks quite cool and was very easy to implement. You just have to specify a state integer in the camera script, and each time you press a specific button, then the state of the camera would change, and according to your logic you would change the transform.position of the camera from one position to another, and at the same time gradually increasing the alpha of that particular panel. So with this basic code I was able to implement such a cool effect in my game. The next thing I implemented on my game is the transitions from one scene to another. The transition is not so fancy but still better than a fade in and fade out. Just 2 panels sliding in and sliding out like doors. So the main game gives you the vibe of a normal platformer set up in some kind of dungeons or caves where you can do nothing but escape. There are no changes in the main mechanism of the game, just running and jumping, but I have made some minute basic changes in the game. The first one is the camera movement. So if the pig is looking in the right direction, then the camera would move in such a position that the pig is now in the left side of the screen, and if the pig looks in the left side of the screen, then camera would make it in the right side of the screen. It gives the player a clear vision of what is coming in front of it and how we can dodge that particular thing. The next thing I have implemented is double jumping in the game. Earlier I was thinking that I would add some kind of dynamic jumping in the game in which the height of your jump would be dependent on how long you press the jump key, but then I decided for my levels the double jump would be much better option. The next thing I have added in the game is the dust particles. So there are 2 kinds of dust particles. The first one would emit when you jump and when you double jump, and the second one would be emitted when the pig lands on the ground. And it is clearly visible that the particles emitted in jumping is far less than particles emitted when the pig hits the ground. Because on jumping I am just emitting 5 particles, but on landing I am emitting 20 dust particles. The next thing I added was a blue background in my game. Although earlier I wanted to add some kind of fancy artistic background in the game, but I always wanted my games to look minimalist, so I think I'm going to stick with that background. But also because I'm dumb at creating art and I wasn't able to find any appropriate background for my game, so anyways you stick with the first point. The next thing that I added and that I never forget to add is post-processing. Because as humans have makeup, Instagram has filters, so games have post-processing. But we have to admit, post-processing makes the game look completely different and surely better than the previous one. Also, as I was playing around with the character, I tried adding trails to it, and after tweaking a bit of the settings, I found that a thinner and a longer trails looks pretty cool when you jump and double jump. So I think I'm going to keep this one also in my game. 2 more things that I added on my game are a pause menu and a count for your total kills. That is going to be really high because the game is really very difficult. And by the way, these 2 buttons in the middle are just for debugging purpose and would be removed in the main. One thing that I wanted to add in my game was the leaderboard system, because leaderboard system makes the game very competitive and very fun to play. But I'm still not able to figure out why I need a leaderboard system in a platformer game. But still, if I have any reason, then I'll surely implement it, because leaderboards are fun. But for now, I am removing the leaderboard system from my game. Okay, now talking about the publishing of this game, I'm going to publish this game for both PC and for Android, but my main focus is still Android, because I see myself as a mobile game developer, and all my games that I have published and that I will publish will be mainly focused on the mobile market. But as this game can be easily published as a PC game without making much changes, so I'll also make it available on itch.io for free to download as a PC version. But for the mobile version, I need to implement the mobile controllers in my game. Firstly, I thought that I would implement button controllers in my game, 2 buttons to move left and right and 1 button to jump, but I changed my idea and create a joystick controller in my game. So if you drag anywhere on the left side of your screen, then the player will move according to the horizontal direction of the joystick, and if you touch on the right side of the screen, then the player would jump. And by the way, the joysticks that I'm using are the joysticks pack that is freely available on the Unity Asset Store. It is a very popular joystick pack, and I think most of the devs use this joystick only. The current joystick that I'm using in my game is a floating joystick prefab, and this joystick is covering the left half of the whole screen. Also, as I was creating for mobile devices, so I have to implement touch input in my game. And one good thing about touch implements in Unity is that it supports multi-touch. So as the player is touching both the left side to move and the right side to jump in the game, then both of the touches would be recorded at the same time. I've implemented the code for touch like this. My player script would register all the touches that you have in the screen, and it would loop through all the touches position. If the X position of the touch is on the left side of the center of the screen, then that touch would be used to drag the joystick and change the position of the player. And if the X position of the touch is on the right side of the middle of the screen, then the touch would be utilized in the jumping of the player. And like we use get key down in a normal keyboard input, I am using a touch phase.begin, so that on one tap my player jumps only one time. Next, as I told you in my previous video that I have some missiles and lasers in my game too, but these were a bit buggy, so I bug fixed all these things and optimized them in some way, and now they are working perfectly in the game. And as you can see, the game is about to finish. Although it is only having 21 levels, but I fear anyone would ever be able to reach the 21st level, but let's hope for the best. I'm still not confident with the difficulty levels of my levels, because 1, this was my first time creating levels, so obviously I'm not good at that, and 2, I am very bad at playing platformers, and very simple levels might seem very difficult to me, so I think I need some playtesters for my game, and I need to show it to some of my so-called gamer friends who can tell me whether the difficulty level is too high or just good for the game or not. One more thing that I noticed when I built my game for the mobile device was that the default value for the target frame rate for any mobile game is 30 FPS because of various reasons. Reasons like the drainage of battery in mobiles and overheating stuffs. But there is a function in Unity from where you can change the default frame rate by using application.framerate equals the desired frame rate you want. The default, as I said, is 30 FPS, and the maximum that you can specify is 300 FPS. So if your game is running slow in mobile devices, then this might be the reason you have to increase the target frame rate of your game. But earlier I thought that if I put the target frame rate to 300 FPS, then my game would run smoothly and no problem would occur. But there is a reason that specified the target frame rate to 30 FPS, because when I was playing my game on 300 FPS on my mobile, then after just playing for 10 minutes my mobile started overheating, and this might probably cause some major issues for other devices also. So I think you have to keep a good balance between a low and a high frame rate, because specifying very high frame rate for your game would although make the game less laggy, but it would overheat your mobile devices, and that would not be very good. So after a few bug fixing and a few playtesting, I think my game would be good to be published on Play Store and itch.io. So if you want to follow the development process of this game, then you can join my Discord server and subscribe to the channel. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any suggestions or queries regarding the game or the videos, or you want to chat something about life, then the comment section is all yours. Comment everything down and I will reply to all your comments. And we'll see you in the next video. Till then, dream big, hustle hard, and keep watching The Techpreneurs. Bye.